the team that needs the 1 seed and the bye week and the home field advantage the most in the playoffs in the NFC, the Lions or the Vikings? Who is it?
I'm going to say the Lions. Obviously we've talked about all the injuries on the line, particularly on the defensive side of the football. I mean, they've had, it's just rare to see the branch of injuries that a team has sustained than the Detroit Lions. And so I don't doubt the Detroit Lions will be able to score with anyone, but you got to be able to make stops and get stops in the postseason. And I just think when you look at the Detroit Lions and the history of that organization, this will be the first time in the history of their organization to get the number 1 seed, to have the road through the playoffs, go through Ford Field, which, by the way, it's a tremendous environment. Anyone who hasn't gone to Ford Field, it's a great environment. And so I think that Dan Campbell and company have done a great job of navigating those things and basically said no excuses, no explanations for the injuries. But I think they could really use the number 1 seed in that first round bye to possibly get some guys back because they're going to need it.
Especially since, too, you could make the case that they appeared to be inevitable as the 1 seed for much of the year, and we thought it was their world until the football gods started kicking them in the nards with 16 injury reserved defenders alone. And the fact that they could eventually make it through all of that and still be the 1 seed after all, what I think would be some tremendous wind at their sails. That said, they're the only undefeated team on the road in the NFL, and the Vikings being the 1 seed, for them to basically say, we started 5-0, lost 2 games in 5 days, and then finished up with a 10-game win streak, and you've got to come through our house with the skull chant, that would be pretty damn potent when you think about it, Damien, you know?
It would be because that Minnesota home field advantage is real. That environment is another environment that's crazy. And listen, that Minnesota Vikings team, man, they are so good. And kudos to, Kevin O'Connell and their front office for putting together a roster and an environment for guys to just, want to be there and thrive. Obviously, we've seen the year that Sam Darnold has had. And Rich, this being a Jets fan, no one has ever doubted Sam Darnold's talent. I've always said that was one of the most talented quarterbacks that I had seen up close and personal, but he just never had the right infrastructure around him. And finally, he lands in a place in Minnesota that has all of that. He has the play caller, he has the coaches, he has the personnel around him. And now we're seeing what Sam Darnold can do when he has all those things available to him, and he's having one of the finest seasons of any quarterback out there. So that Minnesota Vikings team, it's for real. I think they can go anywhere and win. But if they get home field advantage, boy, you talking about that would be a tough environment for any team to try to go in there and beat that team.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.